Next, our cheapskate alternatives. Earlier, we gave the Ford Transit Sport Van our highest ever team test score. We love it so much that we've picked 3 cars that also provide space and pace, but at a more affordable price. Storming performance, cavernous rears and nifty handling. These are our cheapskate alternative estates to the tasty Transit van. But instead of costing £26,000, prices start at just £1,500. My cheapest estate was renowned for being the weapon of choice for motorway coppers. The Volvo 850R from £1,500. Back in the mid-90s, Volvo were desperate to shake off their fusty antique dealer image. So they decided to create a performance car and came up with a legendary T5. They put a spoiler on the front and a spoiler on the rear to make the T5R and shocked the British Touring Car Championship. To celebrate their success there, they then created this final version, the 850R. Oh, and there's certainly a good bit of old-fashioned turbo lag as well. Even by modern standards, this is a fast car with a top speed of 155 miles an hour and a 0 to 62 time of just 6.7 seconds. Volvo does have a good reputation for build quality, but there are some things to look for. First, give the engine some revs and check for any blue smoke coming out of the exhaust, because it could be a sign of failing turbo seals, allowing the engine to burn oil. A replacement turbo will cost you £700. When the engine's warm, remove the dipstick and check for smoke. It's a sign of a crankshaft ventilation system fault, a £700 fix. Finally, take a close look at the rear shock absorbers to check for any sign of leaks. They'll set you back £270 a piece to replace. The 850R offers performance and practicality for peanuts, but an extra £3,500 buys a more modern machine, the Subaru Legacy R Spec B. Cars like this are why we love cheapskate alternatives, because it gives us a chance to introduce less well-known machines that deserve your attention. This Subaru Legacy R Spec B is a belting estate. It sits on an Impreza WRX chassis, but in place of the 2-litre turbocharged flat-4 engine, there's a 3-litre normally aspirated flat-6 engine, which provides a slightly smoother power delivery, but it still has that same rally-bred 4-wheel drive system. Subarus are well known for their mechanical strength, but there are a few checks to make. When you're driving, check there's no juddering of the brakes. Take a close look at the surface of the disc. Any uneven wear may point to corroded calipers, and they'll cost £200 each to replace. Uneven tyre wear can point towards tired wishbone bushes. Budget £150 a corner for replacements. Check the exhaust system for any corrosion or leaks, especially this wide joint at the back. Small amounts of corrosion can be repaired for about £100, but replacing this centre section alone will set you back £400. My final choice represents the ultimate fast estate, an Audi RS6 for an unbelievable £10,000. This was the first RS6 that Audi made. When it was launched, it was a serious supercar beater. In fact, it can still see off some very serious, brand new high-performance machinery. That's thanks to its 4.2-litre V8 under the bonnet, which with its twin turbochargers produces 450 horsepower. It's an astonishing car for the cash, but you need to buy carefully to avoid big bills. This is an automatic model, but if you're testing a manual, make sure you feel each gear change. If it's a bit notchy or there's any strange noises, it can be a new gearbox that's required. And they cost £5,000, which is virtually half the price of the car. Check the suspension is level, as the dynamic ride control system can fail. Aftermarket replacements are common, as original parts are £2,000 fitted. Finally, the RS6 is a bit on the heavy side, so the brakes can take something of a pounding. So check the discs for little ridges or a nasty edge on the outside, because replacing all 4 discs and the pads will set you back around £1,700. That's nearly 20% of the value of the whole car. So, if you want the space and pace of the Transit Sport van, but don't have the cash or don't want a van, get one of these cheapskate alternatives instead.